My husband's affair was exposed by an anonymous letter in the mail.
Bro got exposed by the Pony Express.
Throwaway, obviously. I've been married almost 35 years, yes, to the same person. And while it hasn't been perfect, it's been all right. Kids, dog, white fence, I've got those. Our personal lives have suffered somewhat. I went from being a V on my wedding night to stepping out of my comfort zones to please him spicily, where Saturday will mark 6 years since we've been intimate at all. By the way, this comes from Powerful Cattle 4503. And if you want to submit your own stories just like this, or maybe not like this, just go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit and do the thing. And here is what Opie has to say. For the longest time, I thought he was having an emotional affair with his male friend that he had fished with, but who would become ill with the big C. He would drop everything and anything for him, including plans we had, plus there were a few texts that were not spicy related, were more than friendship. But for some reason, while I was hurt, I was not threatened. I know he is extremely ill. There is no physical relationship going on. His time is short, and once this was out of his system, he would back to his normal self and me, his wife. I'm really sorry if my words sound crude. That's not how I want them to sound, but I thought once his friend passed, my husband would be back to me. So I was gone this past week for dog sitting and house sitting for my sister and got home last night to check the mail. There was a blank envelope with everything typed. Inside was a short note. Dear Mrs. Redacted, I am writing this letter to inform you that your husband, Redacted, has been having an affair with a neighbor of yours in Redacted by the name of Redacted. They have been sleeping together and having an affair for over 2 years. They meet at the pool area and the dog park in your community. They often go away on weekends together at camping or to various hotel rooms. I feel like you should know what is going on and why blank is gone so much. I have also seen him drop off your dogs at her house. No woman should have to find out about an affair this way. I am sorry, I just thought you should know. I know who the female is. It's one of his, quote, friends. I am completely devastated. To me, a woman is harder to compete with. What does she have that I don't? I decided to get healthy and lost weight. I have lost...
Wait, I'm sorry. I have to immediately find it funny that you find a woman harder to compete with when you literally don't have the same equipment as the other guy, which would make it a lot harder to compete with if that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Just funny. I'm sorry. I just had to point that out. But I understand psychologically where you're coming from, but it's just funny. We have to find funny stuff where we can, because there's not much that's funny about this.
No, not at all. But if you can make the humor just lighten a little bit, smile before you cry.
Okay.
Are you ready to cry, Dakota?
Not yet. Let's go back.
Okay. I decided to get healthy and lost weight. I have lost over 130 pounds, but I don't hear nothing from him. I went to the doctor last week dressed nicely, and he told me I was embarrassing him, that his wife was running around town looking like a witch with her frontal airbags out.
Okay. Leaving him just based on that.
Yeah, that's not great. I had on a simple, off-the-shoulder white eyelet top with dark jeans. Since finding this out, I've become obsessed with finding evidence. I stalk her Facebook, check their call logs. He calls her an average of 6 to 8 times a day, with calls lasting 5 to 15 minutes. I'll drive by her house. I'll type and delete her name, phone number, address, wanting to confront both of them. I wonder what she has that I don't, how I can fix this, if I even want to fix it, if he does. What do I do? Where do I go? How? I've cried for 2 days now. I can't stand to look at him, and I'm afraid to talk to him. And there are comments.
Well, I think let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay. The comments are, the affair partner obviously wrote this note. She wants you to know. Replies, I'm thinking so too. Since he won't leave, now the wife will. Exactly, because how would a neighbor or bystander know how long it's been going on and know for certain that they are intimate, sleeping together for 2 years? Reply, a neighbor doesn't need spy cameras in the house next door to know that a random guy with a wedding ring shows up to their not married neighbor's house and stays the night and sees hugging or kissing outside. Not everyone is oblivious to their surroundings.
That is true. Like,
pattern
I
recognition.
know a ton of old ladies who would immediately know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
When they call them window watchers.
Yes.
That's who they are. There's one in my neighborhood that I grew up in.
Oh, good Lord.
She knows everything. If it happens outside, she knows it.
Not everyone is oblivious to their surroundings. I have to admit that I am, and I probably wouldn't notice, but I think a lot would. The reply, I can sit outside and hear all the effed up drama my neighbors talk about. They think their fences are soundproof. It's really not hard to know what's going on. There are things I've heard that haunt me. There's an update.
So do you think it was the affair partner? I don't. Personally, I don't.
The fact that I think that they know that they've been going to hotels and this and that and the other, possibly, unless they talk about the hotels, it could just be a side neighbor who just knows and wants to help this woman or wants to be part of the drama or start drama. Whatever their motivation is, there is a chance that it is just a normal neighbor, but it could also be the affair partner who either wants to get caught or just wants it off their chest.
Well, I think that comment was saying that it's like a way to get them together officially, because once the wife knows, then she'll break up with him, and then he'll finally be able to just be with her.
But maybe the guilt is getting with him while he's married still. Maybe once the wife is out of the picture, the guilt is gone.
Yeah, and by the way, being an affair partner is being an affair partner, not being an actual partner.
You are the side piece.
Yeah.
You're
Once
not the main
side
priority.
piece, always the side piece.
And then at that point, how do you ever know that he's not got a second?
He's going to do it to you.
And
you'll deserve it. Honestly, you'll deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do it to you, and you'll go, how could this happen? Oh, wait, I did this to someone else.
Solution, divorce, immediate.
Yeah, it's divorce time.
Update. Quite a bit has happened since then, some good, some not. I finally broke down and told my kids. Those were extremely difficult calls to make. I told them everything, took responsibility for my part, and admitted I could have done things better. Wait, what? What responsibility? And what could you have done better? It's not your decision that someone has an affair. My kids, all older now, said that while I wasn't perfect, I did my best with what I had, and that didn't excuse his cheating. My eldest wanted to come out and go a few rounds with his dad and confront the other women. I told him it wasn't worth it. My second son is my thinker. He didn't say much, but you could tell he was processing deeply. My third son said, "It's about time. With the way he talked to you and treated you, I hope you're thinking about leaving." I was honestly on the fence. He would flip-flop between "I want to work on us and fix us" and actions that said differently. My past 2 weeks have been the worst. Since he's been using my son's car, my son put a tracking device on it. Yes, I have access to it. No, he doesn't know about it. He would tell me he was going to one place and go straight to the other woman's house. I'd ask where he was, he'd lie to my face. I kept notes until I couldn't anymore. Father's Day was the breaking point. Oh, that's an ironic day to expose an affair.
Kind of funny.
I had worked the night before, got off at 8 a.m., texted him about what he wanted for dinner, stopped at the store, bought everything, came home, got it started, and tried to nap. Mind you, he did nothing whatsoever on Mother's Day. He woke me up to borrow $40 to go to a sporting goods store. I said fine, but dinner would be ready in an hour to an hour and a half. Please don't be late. 2 hours later, he wasn't back. I checked the tracking. He went straight to her house and hadn't moved. I drove by. His car, which was the son's car, was parked in her garage, hers outside. I came home, more upset for my son than myself. I texted him, "You need to come home. We need to talk. I know you're not at the sports store." Nothing. After 30 minutes, his car still hadn't moved. So I called her. Of course, she didn't answer. I left a voicemail. "I know my husband is at your house. You win. I'm done. It's obvious he wants to be with you. I'm tired of the lies, tired of the BS. He doesn't want someone who has loved and fought for him for 35 years. I'm done. Come get his dog and his stuff. You've won." 10 minutes later, he came in with a Walmart bag, claiming he went to Walmart, then to a friend's. He went to a friend's, all right.
What an absolutely pathetic little baby.
I made tacos for him, dished up servings for my son and me, and threw the rest in the trash. He gave me an attitude because she feels threatened now since... Wait, hold on.
He gave you an attitude? Wait, what?
Wait, what? Hold on. He said he's at Walmart and a friend's, but now he's claiming that she feels threatened, so is he admitting to the affair or what? He gave me attitude because she feels threatened now since I called her. Now she has to change her number and will lose clients in her line of work. I didn't threaten her. I told him if he wasn't happy here, he knew where the door was and was welcome to use it. He was quiet all week, but was a knucklehead as well. His only concern was seeing that woman. When I had melanoma removed and needed a driver, he took me. But when I got in the car, not one word. No, "How are you?" No, "How did it go?" No, "Are you okay?" All he said was, "I'm hungry." It was the 30th anniversary of losing my sister to melanoma, so I was extra sensitive. Little things kept adding up. He was forgetting things I needed or had asked for. I was at the bottom of his list. On our son's birthday, he couldn't even wait for him to blow out the candles before he went to her house. Last Sunday was it. My final bit of energy for this marriage. He was going through the kitchen cabinets, pulling out soup, saying he was taking it to a couple stranded down the road in a broken down RV. I gathered a few more items and he left, but he left the bag on the counter. I checked the tracker, yep, straight to her house. I texted him, I don't understand why you need to lie. There is no dog park, hiking trail, fishing spot, sporting goods store, broken down RV, or Walmart on Bunker Hill. Why not be honest and tell me you're going to her house? It's obvious, regardless of what you're saying, you don't want to work on our marriage. You have been and are choosing her over your family. I tried calling him. He didn't answer, so I texted, didn't think he would answer. Not even 5 minutes later, he came screeching into the driveway, slamming into the house, screaming. I told him I was tired of him lying. Just tell me he's going to the witch's house. He's been going this entire time and still lies about it. Doesn't he think if I'm questioning where he is, I already know? He called me choice names and ignored me for the rest of the night. I'm sure my neighbors loved it. By the way, I'm pretty sure you'd love it if you listen to episodes just like this on your favorite podcast platform. There's over 71 days of content up there right now. Just type in OK Storytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, and enjoy it without the guilt.
And we'll be there.
We'll be there without the guilt of having to lie what you're listening to.
Yeah, you can always be honest about what you're listening to. My God, girl, leave this man. I cannot believe. I mean, I guess 35 years of marriage makes you reluctant to leave, but as soon as
he doesn't want you anymore, so why is the divorce not already being processed?
Why are we not? Yeah, why did we keep trying? I'm sorry, but it's like
he's not trying.
As soon as it was like the whole thing with the anniversary and on Father's Day, the Father's Day should have been it. He comes home, he's like, I was at the store. No, I know you were with her. I know that's not your friend. I know you were with her boinking.
He's very stupid. He's just very, very stupid and thinks she's stupid.
Well, it's time to go. I'm glad. I feel like we're getting there. Please, for the love of all that is holy, tell me this story ends with you beginning divorce proceedings at the very least.
Let's find out, shall we? Yesterday, Monday, I went to file for divorce.
Thank God! Thank you!
And got crap news.
No. No!
Your joy was very short-lived there, Dakota.
What does that mean?
Because he's a 1099 employee who hasn't technically worked in almost 2 years, although my bills are paid, and because I'm not on his bank account, never have been, I've always asked him to pay for money. And because he stopped me from doing his taxes 3 years ago, saying they were too complicated for you, if I filed for divorce right now and asked for alimony, he could immediately file to lower it, and the judge could agree with him.
Would he, though? Who's telling you this?
Could. The answer is not
okay.
Would he. It's legally the judge would have grounds to do it if, for example, they spun a sob story, or if the judge was friends with him, or if the judge was a misogynist, or if any of these things, if there's one thing that doesn't go OP's way, he could have that alimony lowered. My lawyer suggested waiting 3 months to file.
Okay, do the divorce in 3 months.
He's working again as of this week, submitting paper bids, so I'm to collect as much evidence as I can in the meantime. He was impressed with how much I already had, so I'm planning on playing it cool until September.
Okay.
And that's it.
We're playing the long game. We're still doing the divorce. We've met with the lawyer. Long game. We're doing it. Baby, that's beautiful. Let's go. Get out of there. And honestly, take every penny you can from him. I caught my wife's affair after she fell asleep on her phone.
If you're gonna have an affair, be sure to take the proper care.
Come on, rookie mistake. I, 49 male, have had suspicions that my wife, 37 female, is having an affair for a few months. I'll admit before I go into it that I have very low libido. We've been together for 16 years, and I wasn't always this way, but the past 5 years or so, I just don't have interest in intimacy. My wife has said this is a problem for her, but I never thought she'd have an affair. By the way, this comes from user RevolutionSharp6576, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, and OP says, anyways, my wife was doing her usual texting and smiling at her phone the other night on the couch when she dozed off and let her phone fall to her lap. I grabbed it before it locked and checked her texts. The top text was someone called Dr. Michael. She's a nurse at a hospital, so I assume she's a doctor that she works with. They talked of things they've done together, seeing each other again, and just normal, everyday conversation. He kept calling her baby girl, and she'd call him babe or daddy, which made no sense since she's older than him. Some of their combos are pretty deep, like there's an emotional element, which hurts more. I looked at the pictures they've shared with each other, selfies, memes, spicy pics, and the most soul-crushing, one he sent her that appeared to be of them doing the act. Yeah, I think I just get up and leave at that point, my guy. I think I get up and start packing my bags.
This is the moment where you screenshot it, send it to yourself, delete it from her phone, and you start lawyering up because you got a solid case there.
Yeah. I went to block his number. Why would you do that? And saw in the contact notes that my wife had saved his birthday. He was born in 1993. Not only is he about 5.5 years younger than my wife, he's 17 years younger than me. This felt even more crushing somehow. I can hardly look at her now. I just needed to get that off my chest, and it's too embarrassing to tell my family or friends. If you made it to the end, thanks for reading. We have some comments. Entertainment Fast 497 says, aside from the cheating stuff, have you tried to have your testosterone checked for the low libido? A user replies, yeah, man, a lot of guys think low spicy sleep drive just comes with age, but that's not always true. What she did is still wrong, but checking your health could help you feel better no matter what happens with the marriage. Anastrina says, cheating is wrong, of course, but your wife is much younger than you. I have no idea why you married a 21-year-old at 33, because it's a complete mental leap and a stage in life. But I'll give up on it. You were both adults after all. You admit that you've had a low libido for several years and there's been no spicy sleep in your relationship. And what, haven't you done anything about it for several years? You haven't had checks if you have any medical conditions. You haven't seen a psychologist to see if the cause is something with mental health. You haven't done anything to find the cause of this problem and try to fix it. And you just expected your wife, 12 years younger than you, to simply accept the lack of intimacy with her own husband. Really? The spicy sleep isn't the most important thing in a relationship. There are more important foundations, but it still is very important. Your wife even told you that your low libido was a problem for her, and yet you didn't do anything to address it. You didn't go to a doctor, you didn't go to a psychologist, you did nothing, and it went on like that for several years. Should your wife have an affair? Of course not. She's had enough of this relationship where you see your problem but do absolutely nothing about it, which I feel like is an assumption. Maybe OP just did not go into the steps that he has taken to try to address it that maybe haven't worked or have not been successful. But all of that is an assumption, which, if it's true, does hold water. Like, that has weight to it.
I mean, from what I'm hearing of the way OP has framed the story, it doesn't feel like OP really cared that his libido was low and that the wife made it clear, hey, I need this in our relationship. It reads as if he just kind of shrugged it off and then is surprised when she does something about it. Admittedly, the affair is bad. That was bad. There's no defending that. That was completely bad. But he did not make it, he did not seemingly make any effort to address what she said. Hey, I need this from you.
Right.
Like, it's even just talking. Like, even like they said, just go to a therapist, go get medical check. Like, any effort to show, hey, I see you, I understand you. It may not be the most important to me, but I see that it's important to you. So let me take this step to show that our relationship means something and I want to do my part to keep it together.
Right. The commenter continues, you have the right to feel hurt. You certainly do, because you experienced big betrayal. Nothing justifies this. Your wife's behavior can't be excused in this case either, but I think it can be explained and specific reasons given. And there is an update. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's like, yeah, she's not in the right, but if you did nothing to address this for 5 years, it can't be the most shocking thing ever.
Yes.
It can't be.
Like, you can blame her and like fault her for the affair, but you can't blame her for not feeling fulfilled in the relationship.
Right. And that's also on her to come to you and say, hey, this is a deal breaker for me. If we cannot address this and find a resolution where we are both satisfied in this area of our relationship, I cannot continue to be married to you.
Time to part ways.
Yeah. There's an update. I confronted my wife after she got home from work last night about the texts between her and Dr. Michael. She admitted everything and seemed bewildered that I was hurt. She said she doesn't think of him seriously. He's just a friend with benefits. She said it's mostly my fault for ignoring her concerns about our stale love life. She said she tried with me and I didn't try back, so she gave up. This is, I hate her.
Yeah, she's wrong here. Like, yeah, what you did is wrong. Yeah, no, husband didn't try. But that doesn't mean you have an affair.
Yeah. She told me she sees me as a predator now that stole much of her youth. Because I'm a glutton for punishment, I demanded to see more texts since I originally found out. She showed me, and they were bad. Him telling her the sick things he wants to do to her and calling her sweet girl and her saying anything you want and when I'm with you, I'm yours, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, playing up the doctor. I thought I was going to puke. And again, why are we doing that to ourselves? I lost it and called her a word that starts with W and rhymes with chore. I don't know if I'll get censored if I type it out. Which opened up a whole can of worms. I mean, she cheated on you. I don't think we can, label somebody as, look, she's in the wrong. It's really bad that she's like, I didn't think you'd care. Neither of you are built for each other right now.
No, you're both in the wrong here. Like, I understand that you're angry, OP. However, like, you are approaching this entirely the wrong way. The smart way, as we've seen in countless stories, I think, is save the evidence, talk to a lawyer, confront your spouse in a as civilized manner as possible, and from there decide, are you keeping the marriage or are you leaving? And if you're leaving, do not fight at all. Like, don't call them names. Don't get physical. Just cut it.
Yeah. She countered by telling me that Dr. Michael is better than me in every way. He is taller, stronger, bigger, more powerful, more handsome, more passionate. He F's better than I ever did. When I think she's out with friends, she's actually at his apartment being quote unquote manhandled. On top of that, she said it wasn't the first time. She reminded me when she went into Manhattan last summer for a friend's B-Day. She said she met a 26-year-old guy visiting from the UK, and then he asked her to go back to his hotel with him, and she obliged. I asked her if making this up just to upset me, at which time she pulled out her phone, scrolled for a couple minutes, and then turned the phone around to show me this young man beaming from ear to ear outside a bar with my wife, draped in his arms like she was a toddler. Very poor choice of words. So now there's some kid on another continent telling his buddies about how he effed some girl in New York. That was my wife. And honestly, brother, he's probably not telling her. He's probably not telling much. But I'm going to tell you that you can listen to so much episodes, stories like this, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. They're not all like this. Some of them are. You can listen to over 71 days worth of stories. You gotta believe me, there's some real barn burners in there. But we've got a little bit more story left. I think clearly we all know what we're doing now. Just stop talking and you leave. You stop talking and you leave.
Do we think that OP has the wherewithal
No.
and consciousness and awareness to do that, though?
No.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying.
In an ideal world.
That's what we do in this situation. We leave. In fact, it would have been smart to maybe record this to use as evidence in your divorce proceedings, which I'm sure will not be fun. Let's finish this story. This experience taught me that my wife hates me and resents me and has been out to punish me for my low libido. She told me just because I've lost interest in her doesn't mean other men aren't interested in her, and she's right about that. To her great fortune and my misfortune, she's still beautiful and glowing and fun, and men love being in her presence. As much as I hate her, I also know I blew it with her. Divorce lawyers are being called on Monday, and I've saved a long list of therapists in the area that my insurance covers, and am looking to be in therapy by next month. Many people suggested getting my testosterone checked. This is also on my list of appointments to make on Monday. So, not a happy ending by any means, but an ending that was probably long overdue. And there are some comments. Wondering is a Gift said she built up a ton of resentment about it over time and used her feelings to justify her actions. It must feel awful for you and very humiliating. I'm sure you can find a more suitable person to be with in the future. I can see now what really caused this to happen. It's just an awful situation all around, and they've both paid for it. Own Career 4854 says plenty of couples struggle with intimacy, but not all choose infidelity as the solution. Reading Rainbow Fan says, while there is never an excuse for cheating, there is also no excuse for disregarding a partner's earnest attempt to address something which is affecting the relationship. You say she brought it up more than once. Intimacy is a deal breaker for some people. If you had taken up with someone your own age who understands how the body and mind changes as seasons of life progress, maybe this would have ended differently. I'm not a fan of victim shaming, but you took up with a barely adult well into your 30s. Her views on intimacy were probably largely crafted by your influence. Maybe consider this in your next chapter. Super Who Lockian 62 says, did you really not try anything after she brought up her feelings to you multiple times? You didn't go to the doctor? You didn't try taking any type of medication? Did you do anything? OP says, I admit I didn't take things seriously and didn't really try much. That's why I said I know I blew it too. It can still hurt though. I make about $85,000 more than her, so spousal and child support will be on me. Also, we live in a no-fault state, meaning an affair can't be used against her. All assets will be split 50-50, and I'll pay out my butt for support for her. But better than living with her at this point. Oh, and she'll get half of my 401k, so that's awesome. And that's the end of that story.
Wow. That's, I think in this story, they were both kind of awful people. One thing didn't necessarily deserve the other. I think the response maybe was significantly overblown from the wife, but the husband clearly did not value his partner.
Yeah.
Clearly did not take her needs and conversation seriously. If she tried to save it by telling him, hey, I need you to do this, and he's like, nah, I don't need that. You don't need that, then
True.
I can see where she's coming from. I don't condone her actions, but they were clearly not the people for each other.
Not at all. Well, that is the end of that story.